Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do because I'm going to show you my 10-minute no foundation makeup routine. So last weekend we had no plans on Saturday. I was sitting at home in sweatpants with a face mask on watching playoff football. Got a text message from our friends that they were coming to town and wanted to go out and had to leave my house in under 40 minutes. And I created this look. I shared a photo on Twitter. I asked if you guys would want to see it and so many people said yes. So I'm just going to kind of recreate this. It's just kind of my go-to routine right now if I need to get out of the house quickly. I still want to look put together, but I don't want to take a lot of time on it. So if you're ready to see my 10-minute no foundation makeup routine, why don't we go ahead and get started. I just spent way too long looking for these ears. Oh my goodness, this moving process is not fun. I know I've been saying it in pretty much every single video, but it's literally dominating my life right now, having our house on the market, not being able to find anything at any given moment in my house. But it also kind of relates to today's video because basically, I have to be ready for a house showing at any moment. I can get alerted an hour ahead of time if I have to leave my house. So I used to just have my makeup kind of all over my office, and now I basically have like my most used makeup products in these two bags. So I have this Victoria's Secret bag that's full of kind of my newer stuff or products that like I continually reach in for. And then I also have this bag here, and this has my January shopped my stash products in here, and then again a few either like newer products or just some like staples to me. If you haven't seen my shop my stash yet, I will leave it linked down below. I picked out some older products in my collection and did like a get ready with me with them, and I'm going to do this series every single month, so I'll have that one listed down below. But these are basically the two things that are always out right now, and I kind of just choose my makeup from this. Everything else is in like drawers or closets or in the basement or whatever. So these are really handy, especially for when I only have a few minutes and I need to, you know, be getting out the door. So I've really been reaching into these quite a bit, and that's where all of my makeup is going to come from for today's video. So the first thing that I do when I know that we're going to be leaving is I immediately start to prep my skin, and I use the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. I have this one in my not my shop to my stash, right? I have it in my 9 in 2019 Project Pan, I believe it is. So I just, for whatever, I don't know, I shake it up a little bit and then I just spray it. I think it's really nice for like foundation prep. Like if I don't want to go ahead and do like a bunch of skincare, I'll spray this on. I just feel like it's really hydrating on the skin. It has hyaluronic acid in it, and it just is like get me ready to go, you know? And once I let that kind of sink into the skin a little bit, I'll come in with my primer. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow Primer. I have been talking about this one. I just mentioned it recently in my Makeup Monthly in the favorites section. I also did do a full review video with my Charlotte Tilbury First Impressions, and I just talk about this one so much. And I've mentioned in there about doing, you know, no foundation routines, just using a bit of concealer, but this is the primer that I use because I think it makes my skin look so pretty. So even without using a foundation and having a lot of coverage on my skin, I still just feel like this gives me a really healthy glow. It makes my skin look nice and luminous, and I just think that it's so beautiful, so I keep reaching for it. So I just use my fingers and apply this all over. And then for concealer, when I'm doing a no foundation routine, I'm mostly going in with the Too Faced Born This Way. I'm in the shade Nude. I really love this concealer. I mentioned it in my you know, best of 2018 video. I really like this, and I like the coverage on it because it's more of like a medium to full coverage. So while I like the coverage and I want a lot, especially if I'm not doing foundation, it's also not too much at the same time where like maybe it might look a little bit unnatural on the skin, if that makes sense. So I just reach for this one a ton. I feel like it just looks really nice on my skin. So what I do is, since I haven't done a foundation, you know, I go not like, I don't know, in my mind not super heavy on the concealer, but I'll put it on my under eyes and then also on my eyelid primer. I just use one eyeshadow shade. Well, I mean, I have an inner corner and all that, but just one eyeshadow shade on the lid. So I just place that on the under eyes, and then anywhere where I have any redness, you know, kind of dot the concealer on there too. And then the brush that I am using is a Morphe brush. This is the E20. I've been saying that it's kind of hard to clean my brushes right now because we have so many showings on the house that I don't want to get my sink super dirty. I mentioned this when I was posting my favorite brushes video. So it's really hard to clean right now, but I found this brush that I hadn't used, or that hadn't been used since the last time I cleaned it, from Morphe, and I've actually been really liking it for concealer. I think it blends out nicely, so it'll do in a pinch until I can finally get my brushes cleaned. So I'm going to go ahead and just blend the concealer out. And then since I'm not using a foundation and I don't want to make it, like I want it to blend into the rest of my skin, I just really kind of take the brush and bring it down like onto my cheeks and all of that. Just so I don't get any, like when I first started doing it, I was really leaving the concealer where I would normally put the concealer, but with not having foundation or anything else going on, I felt like it kind of looked like, you know, like that. So now I just kind of take my brush and just kind of casually blend it down onto my cheeks. So again, that's why I said I still like the coverage, that it's not too full, but still a bit of coverage to have on the rest of my face. Kind of take what I have from my chin and I bring it up here because sometimes I get some redness under my nose. It's super cold, so I definitely notice some redness around my nose, so I kind of help with that. And then just a little bit on the forehead, mostly just to even everything out. But I don't feel like I use a ton more concealer than I normally would, and I'm still kind of using that to go over, you know, a lot of my skin. And I think that it looks pretty good. I do want to set the concealer, so I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Powder. My shade is in 2. This is also in my project pan for 2019. So first I'm going to pick up a smaller brush. This is the Stilazzi L224. I just grab a bit of product here and I place that right on my under eye to get rid of any creasing. And then I tap a little bit onto my actual eyelid as well. Then I'll also bring the powder down as well for the concealer. I'll grab a larger brush. This is from Real Techniques. It is the 300 brush. It came in like the brush crush set that came out recently. And I'm just going to brush that onto the skin. Sometimes I do contour. A lot of times I've just been skipping the contour. It is a step that I really like, but if I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna go ahead and do like a lot of bronzer. So I recently picked up this bronzer from Milani. This is the 01 Sunlight Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. I got mine from Ulta. I tried it out in a video and I liked it so much and I just keep reaching for it. I think it's a beautiful bronzer and I feel like I get a lot with like very little time. So that's why I really like it and why I keep reaching for it. So I used this one last weekend too, and I thought that I would go ahead and use it. I'm using the Morphe R2. I mentioned this one in my favorite brushes video because it's such a big brush and I just feel like I can really go quickly with this one. So I do quite a bit of bronzer. Like I said, I'm not doing contouring, so I really kind of go in with the bronzer. And I just love bronzer. I mean, honestly. I just love bronzer. And I'm also going to add some bronzer to my forehead. For my blush, I'm going to use the one from TheBalm. This is in Frat Boy, also in my January shopped my stash. I'm going to use the Sigma F40. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. And then after I have the blush in, I'm just going to take a dual fiber brush. This is from Stilazzi, the S306. And I just use this just to make sure everything looks nice and blended together. I move over to my eyeshadow. I'm going to fill in my brows. I'm going to use my Goof Proof in number 2. This is also in my January Shop My Stash, so you can see that I'm really relying on these little bags out here in my office. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my brows. I like the Goof Proof with the teardrop shape. I just feel like it's really fast and easy to fill my brows in, which I appreciate when I'm trying to get ready in a hurry. Alrighty, we've got some quick brows going on here. And especially when I'm just like going out with my friends for a few hours, I never really worry too much about my brows or spend too much time on them because they don't judge me on my brows. They really don't. They really don't. I think I maybe have like 2 friends who do anything with their brows, so no one has ever commented on my brows. I could go out without doing my brows and I don't think anyone would bat an eye. So after the brows are done, I'm going to use my Natasha Denona Mini Nude Eyeshadow Palette. I just got this one recently and seriously, this is such a good palette for quick looks. This is what I keep reaching for. This is what I used last weekend and I'll show you exactly what I did. I pick up this second shade right here. It's a really beautiful matte and I use my Bdellium Tools 785 and I just add that basically all over the eyelid. That's it. All over the lid. I blend it into the crease, kind of push it all over the lid. This is the only eyeshadow that I'm using on my actual eyelid. So I just come in a few times and build it up until I get it where I want it, but it's the only eyeshadow that I use. I love this Bdellium Tools brush. It was mentioned in my favorite makeup brushes video. I think it's really fast and easy. I think it blends out really beautifully. I think this shade blends out really beautifully. I've been having a great time with this palette, and again, for these really simple, quick looks, it's perfect. So for eyeliner, I just kind of take whatever's laying around. Usually this one is from Pur. This is in Hotline, one of their on point liners that I love so much. So I'm just gonna add this into the waterline. I'm gonna smudge a little bit onto the lower lash line as well and then blend that out with a shadow. So I'm gonna grab a small pencil brush. This is from Morphe, it's the M507. And then I'm just going to mix the two matte shades in here, so the second one and last one. I'm just gonna mix these together on the brush and then sweep that onto the lower lash line. Eyeliner and like just a smokier lower lash line. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like the most smokiest lower lash line ever, but those are just two things that I feel like I have to have. Like I gotta have it. No matter what kind of rush I'm in, I gotta do it. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna grab this center shade here. I'm gonna use the Morphe E36. I'm just going to pop that into the inner corner. And I like to make this kind of bright, kind of touch the very like inner part of my eye as well. For mascara, I'm going to use the two that are in my January Shopped My Stash. I do a little bit of the Flower Beauty on my lower lashes because I don't have any transfer issues with this one. I do have longer lower lashes, so I just hit them with a little bit of this mascara. And the other one that I'm using, I really do like it, but I do get transfer on my bottom lashes if I use it, so I can only use it with my top lashes. And I'm running low on both, but the Flower Beauty I'm really almost out of, so I feel like I can't even do my top lashes anymore with it because it's almost gone. And then using the Essence False Lashes, that was the Flower Beauty Zoom In, if I didn't say, because I don't even know if I said. So just give that a second to dry, and then I'm going to use the Essence False Lashes, and I do 2 coats of this on my top lashes. So the eyes are done, super easy, and I just have highlight and lip to finish off with. So last weekend I used the Pixi Beauty Delicate Dew highlight, which I do absolutely adore. A lot of times I've been reaching for not my most blinding highlights in my collection, my Natasha Denona mostly. I don't reach for that or like Colourpop Flexitarian. I still want something that's very beautiful and bright, but just like a touch toned down. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I don't want anything too subtle. And I kind of mix the two, but I do a little bit more of the pinky one. So I'm just gonna place this on my Moda Metallics highlight brush and apply to my cheekbones. I'll hit a little bit like the sides of my forehead, run a little bit down my nose and on the tip of my nose. Just kind of depends on like how dry I'm feeling. Maybe a little bit on my chin. Just depends how dry I'm feeling and all of that, but that is my highlight. And then for my lip combo, I did this last Saturday and I liked it so much, and I've done it again, and I think that it's a pretty sweet combo. But I'm doing my Colourpop Oh Snap lip liner, which is in my January Shop My Stash. And then I recently finally got this Marc Jacobs, what does it say it on here? The Hydrating Lip Gloss Stick in Mocha Choco-Latte. Someone sent this to me. It came in my P.O. box, but there was no name or no note or like all of the like return stuff was filled out under my name, so I don't know who sent this to me, but I've been trying to get my hands on this for the longest time, but this shade in particular keeps selling out and it's been driving me crazy. But since I've been trying it, it is so good, and I think that these pair really well together. So I'm first going to do my Colourpop Oh Snap lip liner, and I line and then also kind of fill in my lips. I'm so glad I picked this for my Shop My Stash. I have sharpened it so many times and I definitely need to sharpen it again, but I think it looks really pretty. And like if I'm just doing something really casual, like we had an open house last Sunday, so we just went to our friend's house and watched some of the football games, and I was like, I feel like I want some sort of lip product but nothing too crazy. This is what I did. Boom, done. I just think it looks so good. So that's the Oh Snap from Colourpop. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Marc Jacobs over top. It's a pretty sheer gloss. It has a little bit of color to it, but I think that it definitely, for me personally and what I like a little bit of the color, a little bit more color, so that's why I like to pair it with the lip liner. So you do have to twist it up, but then once you twist it up, you can't twist it back down, so you have to be careful of that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this right over the lip liner. Is that combo just not beautiful? I love it. And then having the lip liner underneath when the gloss kind of starts to fade away, like we had dinner last weekend, you know, I can either just take the gloss out and touch up really quickly, or the lip liner is under there, so I'm still having some color peeking through. So I just thought it was a beautiful combination. I quite enjoyed it. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is spray my face. So I'm going to use my Scandinavia makeup finishing spray that is in my Shop My Stash, I think it is. I'm getting my like Shop My Stash and my year-long project pan a little bit mixed up, but it's in one of those, so it's always out next to me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my face. And after that, that's gonna wrap it up for this 10-minute makeup routine, no foundation and makeup routine. Obviously, we haven't factored the hair into this video, so don't mind that, it's just focusing on the makeup. But I hope that you guys like this. Again, a lot of people said they wanted to see this video, so I thought it would be a fun one to film. Let me know what you think. Of course, this video is probably not going to be 10 minutes long, since I was trying to explain my choices and why I'm choosing them and how I'm applying them and all that fun stuff. But I hope that you still liked it. This has become, you know, my go-to quick and easy out the door makeup look, and I think that it's really pretty. I don't feel like I have too much makeup on. I still feel like I look really put together. I think the eyes look pretty, and it was so simple, and I love this lip combination. It's been a fave of mine these past couple weeks here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I would love to know. Other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.